I also want to point out it's unclear the punishment that he will have for the sexual misconduct allegations by the NFL. So we're not even sure if the league would allow him to play. If a team signs him, they could instead put him on the commissioner's exempt list. Stephen A., putting that aside, should the Eagles consider signing Antonio Brown?
Damn right they should. Before I go any further, let me say this. I was hearing after I went off about Deshaun Jackson, like, where you at? Where you at? I mean, they need you. They can't win without you. That his injury to his abdomen was more serious than the Eagles or anybody else had let on. And so, you know, it was proven Sunday. He comes out there for one drive, one catch, and now he's out, probably for the rest of this season. So that just goes to show, yet again, when we talk about some of these players and some of their injuries, we got to give more credence to these players, their friends, people they know, et cetera, et cetera. When they talk about how serious this stuff
that
is.
Was a core injury.
That was a core injury, and the team was under the impression that it wasn't that serious, evidently, because they put him out there. And sure enough, he goes out there and look at what happens.
You know what's bizarre to me about that, real quick, before you go on? What did Deshaun Jackson ever do to make people think he didn't want it or he wouldn't get after it?
Let me say something.
I don't get that.
Because you raise a great point. I was in Dallas, and I'm going to say this from a personal experience standpoint. I was in Dallas with a guy named Jim Maurer and Britt Brown in the training room.
Yeah.
These dudes for 8 years took great care of me. When I wanted to go back and play, Jim and Britt Brown would say, Marcus, you're not ready to go back yet. All right, now I'm on the sideline doing all of these, things while practice going on. And as a young player in your mind, you're like, I got to get back on the field, man. Like, this is livelihood, all of that. So both of those guys, all right, so this doesn't include them because that's my personal experience. These front offices and teams, they need to do a hell of a job with defining those lines for training staffs. We know you work for us, but don't put a player back out here if he ain't ready to play.
I appreciate that. And what it really, really comes down to is this. Let's give Deshaun Jackson credit for getting out on that damn field.
No doubt.
Because clearly he wasn't ready to go out there, and he tried.
You know what? So I actually think the lesson is don't let the team pressure you to get back on the field.
But a lot of times, sometimes it's not the team. It's that individual
it's the player.
athlete. It's the player themselves. So now let me get to the Antonio Brown issue. You damn right they should. This is a team that has the 21st ranked passing attack, okay? And you got receivers all over the place dropping passes. I challenge anybody to show me one quarterback in the league that has had wide receivers drop more passes than the Philadelphia Eagles have dropped from Carson Wentz this season. And yet Carson Wentz still only has 4 interceptions on this entire season and about 15 touchdowns. The Eagles are just a half game out of first place. Darby is back in your secondary. Mills is back in your secondary. We know, even though they may not be great, the fact of the matter is they're an upgrade, from those cats that they had out there when those brothers couldn't play. And so when you look at it from that perspective, along with the coaching of Peterson, if you're going to go for it, go for it. And what I'm saying is at this particular moment in time, Antonio Brown is minimal risk. He is in no position to exercise any kind of leverage. What?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up.
So because that's why I know you disagree. That's why I'm setting it up, baby. It's called the softball. Hit it out the park. See how I do you? Here's the point that I'm trying to make. Antonio Brown, because of all his nonsense and all the stuff that he's done, you want to get back into the league? Remember, they thought Seattle, he had a chance in Seattle. Didn't happen. They'd rather get Josh Gordon. We know his checkered past, but they grabbed him in a heartbeat before they grabbed Antonio Brown. So if you Antonio Brown, this might be your shot. If I'm the Eagles, I'm desperate enough because I'm close enough to making the playoffs. I'm only a half game behind Dallas. I play Dallas later on in the season. I go for it.
Antonio Brown is the guy with the best case on the numbers to say, I want to challenge Jerry Rice as the best who ever did it. And he doesn't have a job right now.
That's right.
Think about that. Because, Stephen A., it's fool's gold. AB is fool's gold. You bring up, well, he's down at his last chance, this and that. If that's even true, you're assuming he's a rational actor. I don't see any rational behavior by
not, but
Antonio
go ahead.
Brown.
I'm not,
I
go
think there's something a little wrong with Antonio Brown. I'm talking about like emotionally, mentally, there's something off. Let me just go over the facts of the case. Molly, I'm not just talking about his legal issues.
The
I mean,
sexual
just like,
misconduct.
Yes.
I mean the behavior
I mean,
in general.
like, he wants out of Pittsburgh. When they want to challenge for a title, he wants out of Pittsburgh. He gets his wish. He gets his brand new contract, tens of millions, and he's now in Oakland with a head coach who's got his back. Who we've had play Oakland. Who do we have from the Oakland Raiders who said everyone in the building loves John Gruden?
Oh, the rookie? You're talking about when...
Anyway, everybody in the building loves...
Oh, the safety.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
What's his name?
Not Adams?
I'm blanking.
Abrams.
Abrams. That's right. I got my wires
Who was
crossed.
here?
Yeah.
Who was here?
Yes.
Abrams, okay.
Yeah, who's a beast,
Jonathan
by
Abrams,
the way.
yes.
Jonathan, who's a beast, who said everyone in the building loves John Gruden, except apparently Antonio Brown, who couldn't wait to get out. He just got his money. He got back. Aha, he's crazy like a fox. That's why he's causing all that trouble in Pittsburgh. No, he never gets on the field in the regular season for the Raiders. What does he do? Oh, wait a minute. Now he's with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. That was his plan all along. He's crazy like a fox. He outsmarted all of us. On his way in the door, we find out that he sent texts where even if you thought you were being extorted, let's say you want to make the best case scenario argument for him and give him the benefit of the doubt, and you're really angry, you would not put in writing the things he put in writing to a young woman in a text. That is insane, and that's on the way in the door.
That's a different argument. You're making an argument that he doesn't belong in the league.
Hold on. Well, I'm saying, it's not that I'm the commissioner, you can't come in the league. I'm saying I run a team.
Okay.
You're not pulling that stuff with my team.
Yeah.
Then he finally gets in and he does it again. You could argue, well, he didn't disclose everything to the Patriots on the way in. And then in a separate text, he does it again.
He's not the brightest candle on the birthday cake.
That's not an issue of intelligence or rational. That's a problem. AB's got to deal with his problems, or it's not going to matter if the Eagles give him a job. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.